Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another exciting episode of QTricks that is brought to you by ILMA University in collaboration with Rotary District International 3271, powered by Numan Group of Companies. Hi, this is Fawad.
And I'm Sajda. We welcome you again on an exciting episode of Qtricks that aims to bring academic celebrities from different areas of expertise in front to speak out hot button issues related to quality trends and new direction in a post COVID-19 digitech world. Ladies and gentlemen, the topic of today is quality assurance and accreditations of higher education institutions in affected countries. And we have with us Mustafa Kayali, who is Manager Quality Assurance Accreditation and International Units at different universities in Syria. Before moving towards, let's watch his short profile video.
Mustafa Kayali, scholar researcher with specializing in the quality of higher education and QA for highs, manager of the Quality Assurance, Accreditation, and International Relations units at different Syrian universities. Mr. Kayali is also the manager of the Higher Education Quality and Assessment Group HECAG, a group designed to enhance QA for higher education institutions. Mr. Kayali is a member of the following networks. Affiliate member of INCA International Network of Quality Assurance Agencies in Higher Education. Lead auditor of ISO 21001 to 2018. Accreditation auditor and expert in higher education at GONI's Council on International Higher Education Supervision. Affiliate member at ACME, United Quality Management Institute. International expert at Slovenian Quality Assurance Agency. International expert at Hispania, Entidades Certification, Inspection y Verification. Accreditation expert at Agency for Control and Quality Assurance of Higher Education Kokovo, Montenegro. Mr. Kayali's focus for the moment is to enhance the QA of highs located in conflict control areas. Research fields are accreditation, certification, QA, rankings, and internationalization of higher education institutions. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mustafa Kayali.
Hello, Mustafa. How are you?
Fine, thank you so much. And you? How are you doing?
Good. How things are going?
Welcome at QTricks.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure for me to be with you here today. Thank you so much.
Pleasure is all ours. Thank you for the time. Actually, we are quite excited for today's show because today's topic is one of the most significant and important topic, especially in current era where generally few countries are unfortunately affected due to wars and other different issues and challenges. So we'll be discussing on the quality assurance and accreditation challenges in affected countries of the world.
Okay. Mustafa, starting from your career, like how did you got into the quality assurance?
Well, this is a long story indeed. As you know, in 2011, the war in Syria has started and it changed everything. I mean, the structure of the country has changed, mentality, social life, economic life, and everything has changed. And starting 2014, many people in Syria were obliged to travel abroad, to be immigrants. And Syria itself, it has changed. And due to this change, there were like cantons or different political domination areas and places. And for that reason, I was living in Idlib. And I started that journey of quality assurance because, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Yes.
Okay, great. Okay. And in Idlib, starting from 2015, actually, there were millions of people, and there is a need for higher education. For that reason, universities started to emerge, and students were starting to study. And because of those newly established universities, they needed to communicate with abroad. They needed to, be internationalized, to sign like MOUs and to start application of quality assurance, my journey started there. Like saying in 2016, I started working with universities. We started building like a profile for them, communicating with international academia, signing MOUs, and starting the application of quality assurance and accreditation for them. For that reason, you can say that it was my journey, and the reason of my working this field, it was due to the current circumstances and the current situation in Syria, because there is a need, then there should be someone to help and support, and that was the reason for me to work. So I started my business in the quality assurance, and my study, my focus, my orientation, everything was on the quality assurance. For that reason, I'm happy for that. At least I can help people, I can support them, I can help those universities, because as you know, higher education sector is very complicated, and specifically when you are talking about a country that has been going through a war for about 11 years, then it's a very challenging situation, a very difficult situation. You are not talking about higher education at a stable country. You're not talking about structures. You are not talking about standards. You are not talking about that there is a government that can support. You are talking about something from the scratch, from the beginning. You are going to start establishing everything from the scratch. For that reason, yes, it was the journey, and it was the beginning, and I was happy to be there. And of course, I'm happy to be with you today.
Actually, there is an unfortunate situation generally in the world, and that is that quality assurance experts are there, but qualified quality assurance experts are not there. And since you are doing your doctoral studies in quality assurance, so this is a relatively new phenomena for us, because generally people are doing PhDs in different fields but not in quality assurance. So tell us about what is the area of your thesis or research, because you are doing your PhD, and how did you find your supervisor? Because he or she must be a quality assurance expert as well, because you are doing your PhD. So how did you find
Yes.
the thesis topic and the supervisor? This is apart from the topic of today's show.
Well, in 2020, I have started my PhD in quality management, and the topic was about internationalization and quality assurance at small and medium-sized universities, and started the program with ASIC University. My supervisor was very helpful, and the university itself was very helpful. They know the conditions, the situations, they know what's happening. For that reason, they were very supportive for me. And in addition to that, they encouraged me to make and to do research. For that reason, I have wrote many papers about quality assurance. I have wrote many papers about quality assurance during COVID, and about general topics related to higher education. And my supervisor is always helping me and supporting me to complete the project itself. And I do believe that starting from next year, maybe in the January 2023, I'm going to defense the project. Quality assurance, it's a need for my situation, for ILMA itself, because as you were talking about, you are talking about unstable area, you are talking about a conflicted area. You are talking about a country nowadays that it has no relationship with international community. For that reason, quality assurance for those universities is a must. I'm not talking about luxury. I'm not talking about something that, an added value. Quality assurance for them for the moment is a must, because, without the application of accreditation for them, those universities are going to be lost in the coming years, because, as you know, we can't work alone. No man is an island, and universities can't work without communication with other universities. They can't work without standards. They can't work without procedures. For that reason, I have started the project. The PhD in quality management, because of and due to the current situations and current conditions of the area that I'm living in.
Okay, another thing is that because today's topic is quite interesting, because we generally, when we speak about higher education institutions, when we speak about higher education, when we speak about research, when we speak about internationalization, when we speak about partnerships, when we speak about accreditations, when we speak about quality, we generally divide all these elements into two broader categories. The first category is developed country, and the other category is developing country. But see, now today, because of this topic that you have selected, now we came to know that there are three categories. One is the developing country, the other one is the developed country, and the third one is that country that neither falls into developing one and nor falls into the developed category, and that is
Right.
the affected
The
countries,
affected one.
the countries
Yes.
that are affected due to hunger, poverty, or due to war, or due to
Political
external
influence.
influence and
Factors.
control. So this is very important. So tell us, what are the challenges generally people face when they are working for quality assurance and accreditations in war-affected countries?
Okay, generally speaking, when we talk about the normal situation, then we are talking about accreditation and external quality assurance as a seal, a certificate, a level, a prestigious activity that a university can do in order to prove that they are following certain standard and certain procedure. In the normal situation, a university would like to get accreditation for the whole university, we call it institutional accreditation, or for a specific program, which is programmatic accreditation. For that reason, they would like to communicate, the university is communicating with accreditation agency and start signing the application MOU between each other. And after that, the university is supposed to prepare the self-evaluation report. Within this self-evaluation report, the university should prove that they are following the standards and procedures that were established by the accreditation agency. Just like in Europe, we have the ESGs, and at other countries, we have certain standards and procedures. Generally speaking, those standards and those procedures, they are focusing on improvement and enhancement of the university itself. Just like thinking about the faculty members that, okay, we need capacity building, those faculty members should be trained, should help students, should support them, should give them the added value that they need, should train them in a very good way. You are talking about admission policy that, okay, admission policy, it should be equivalent to the labor market. It should be analyzed. It should be studied. Then another factor might be just like the content of the program itself. It should be just like important for the community. It should be like there is a practical application for this program. Something might be about the internal quality assurance that the university itself, it should develop its internal quality assurance and keep enhancing and restructuring its operation. Okay. After that, the university itself is going to send this self-evaluation to the accreditation agency. And at that time, the agency is going to establish like a board of international experts. Those international experts are going to meet the university and make like just like dialogues with them, just like the dialogue that we are having today, talking to them, asking them, talking to students, talking to alumni, talking to graduates, okay, and going to get a feedback. After that, this feedback is going to be shared with the university, and the university is going to comment on that feedback. And finally, the accreditation agency is going to decide that, okay, the university is doing good. It's proving that they are applying everything in a good way, and then it's going to get unconditional accreditation. This accreditation is going to be 5 years for programmatic accreditation and 7 years for institutional ones. The second option would be the conditional accreditation, and it means that there are minor defaults, minor problems, minor difficulties. So the university is supposed to change 1, 2, 3. Okay, that those those minor defaults, they could be changed within a short time, so the university can change them and get the unconditional accreditation. The third option would be that no accreditation, because there were major defaults and major problems for the university. In this case, I'm talking about the general situation. Like, okay, we are talking about developed countries. We are talking about countries that had no external factors. Okay. The second option would be like, okay, the situation of COVID, just like the one that we had in 2020 and 2021. That at that time, universities were forced to work online. Everything was online. Everything was virtual instead of physical. So even, the site visit of the accreditation agency and even the evaluation and assessment process is going online because of COVID, because of the pandemic, because the new conditions of the COVID. Okay, that is the second condition. The third condition, which is about the countries that are being controlled by conflicts and affected countries. Then, unfortunately, the world is going crazy nowadays. We don't know what's happening starting from 2000, when the terrorist attacks on World Trade Center. After that, we had in 2001, the war in Afghanistan, 2003, the war in Iraq, 2006, we had a war in Lebanon between Israel and Lebanon. In 2008, we had Russian aggression on Georgia. And in 2010, it was the beginning of Arab Spring, that spring that changed everything in the Middle East. It changed the structure of countries, the structure of higher education of that countries. And then in 2014, we had the Ukrainian war, the Russian aggression, the first one in Ukraine. And after that, you can say that the situation was a little bit stable, but during the last 4 months, one more time, the war was knocking the door of Europe. And it means that at any time, at any place, anywhere, there might be a war and a conflict without any reason. For that reason, we should be prepared. What's important about this topic, I'm talking about quality assurance of higher education at affected countries. Okay, those countries were working in a stable way, they were working in a good way, but because of war, because of what's happening with them, because of the conditions, they were unable to work in a proper way, because at this new time, they had financial problems, financial factors, there might be no government, there might be shelling, something like luxurious requirements for students might not be applied because of its unstable life. For that reason, for those universities, they know that they need quality assurance, external quality assurance in order to work properly, because without a government, without a good relationship, then they can't communicate with others. For that reason, those universities would like to develop a process for proving that they are working in a good way. Okay. For that reason, they communicate with accreditation agencies. But for those accreditation agencies, that's important. They need to think about universities that they are having unconditional situation. Okay, they are not having normal life. They are not having stable life. For that reason, those agencies, those accreditation agencies, they need to think about those universities in a way that, okay, they have something, unstable. They have, supernatural steps. They are having very difficult, situations. For that reason, there should be a process, there should be a protocol for helping those universities in order to get accreditation. That is important about this process. Okay? It's the responsibility of the university and accreditation agencies and quality assurance networks to work together, because as I was talking about, for the moment, we have 5 countries or 6 countries that are still having wars and conflicts. Okay, we're not talking about that, okay, it's something that might not happen. It's expected to happen at nowadays or in the future at any time. For that reason, we should think about, okay, we need a ground, we need something in common. We need to develop something that, okay, at any country that might have a war, okay, you can do 1, 2, 3. Okay, for my country, for Syria, for the moment, okay, we have about 43 universities, we have about 4 higher education councils, we have about 2 accreditation agencies, and still the system is not developed enough, because there is no basis ground. There is nothing specific that, okay, I can guide those universities to 1, 2, 3. Okay, because they are working separately. There is no an umbrella for them. For that reason, what's important for the moment and for the future, that there should be an umbrella for those conditions of operation for quality assurance of higher education at affected countries. This umbrella, maybe this network, okay, can guide and help those universities to get accreditation. For that reason, yes, as we're talking, we have the developed countries, we have the undeveloped countries, and we have the affected countries. Each one of them is having their own, problems, own difficulties, and own, minor defects that they need to change and modify.
Okay, Mustafa, As looking at the scenario, like obviously we need to have a structure for such universities to remain connected and help them out in terms of maintaining the quality assurance. As I know, like education in such countries is a very different challenge, and maintaining quality assurance needs an extra effort for this. So tell me how and what are the agencies like national or international? I won't say national, but what are the internal or external agencies? What are their roles? Is there any sort of name who are supporting you? Because education collectively is a system. And we look at the quality assurance, we have like a list of factors, maybe
Good.
linkages, maybe alumni, the internal, the whole governing body, the stakeholders, how these separate factors are contributing in maintaining the quality assurance, and what are the agencies and how what is the role of their support.
Okay, thank you so much. That's a very important question. When I talk about the internal accreditation agencies, about their rule, then I can say that at least they can establish a certain protocol for guiding and for granting the lessons of establishing a university. Okay, in war and during this labyrinth and conflict and very unstable situation, anyone can establish a university. Anyone can say that, okay, here is a building, I'm going to establish a university. This is happening at this at those countries and those unstable countries. Just like, let me give you an example for Somaliland. In Somalia, for the moment, there is about 120 universities, and comparing to its countries, the number is much bigger than it's supposed to be. For that reason, the basis that those internal quality assurance and internal accreditation agencies they can provide is that at least we can agree on certain requirements in order to grant accreditation for, or in order to permit these university to work. At least we can request them to have a building, to have a trained faculty members, to have a strategic plan for them that for the 5 years what you are going to do. Show me your courses, show me your programs, what you are going to provide for students, why you would like to teach this program. Is there a connection between this program and the labor market? So those can be the standards for a community to follow, because without them, at any country, I might have 500 or 600 universities, and that's going to be a very chaotic situation. Of course, we don't like to see that happening. For the external and international quality assurance agencies, their role can be, as I was talking about, that at least they can help by establishing a protocol. This protocol and this guidance, this procedure, just like, let me say, it might be similar to ESGs, that standard one, 1, 2, 3, standard 2, standard 3. They can establish with the help of international quality assurance networks, just like ABQN, you are a member in ABQN, INCA, INQAHI, those international quality assurance networks, they can together start to establishment and to create a protocol, a standard for those countries. And whenever a country or a university that's located in an affected country, whenever it follows the standard, whenever it's adhere to the requirements, then it will get accreditation. Okay, one more time. I'm not going to request them to follow 100% of the requirements of like the ESGs. No, I can develop a certain standard for those countries. For that reason, we have the internal, accreditators. Okay, we have 1, 2, 3. You can request 1, 2, 3 in order to get a license to operate and to establish. And you have the external one that, okay, please develop and establish a protocol and procedure for accreditation.
Okay, actually, when we speak about quality assurance, and we relate it with international rankings. So what I see is that every country should have a national education policy. And as far as the higher education is concerned, basically in the current era, the demand from the university revolves around at least four factors. The first factor is quality teaching. The second factor is research. The third factor that is more important is internationalization. I mean, exchange of students, exchange of academic staff, exchange of non-academic staff, exchange of faculty members. Uh, and the last one is income from research and income from industry so that institutions get sustainability. Okay, if your university or any other university revolves around these four parameters and the university fulfills all the parameters uh, to their maximum level, so they get ready for applying for international rankings and accreditations. When we speak about accreditations, generally the accreditation forms or parameters revolve around 9, 10 areas. For example, faculty, students, examinations, admissions, student support, alumni, uh, corporate social responsibility or extracurricular activities, finances, so scholarships. So these are few parameters. Every accreditation body at national, international level, more or less, their forms and their documentation revolves around these areas. But
Good.
when we speak about affected countries, for example, your university in the affected country, I'm sure must be having state-of-the-art infrastructure. They must be having brilliant students. They must be having learned lecturers and teachers, the resources, the IT facilities, everything is perfect. But because of political influence, other countries' influence, the disruption, so you cannot invite foreign students to study at your university because the environment doesn't allow you. For example, you cannot invite teachers from foreign countries to come and deliver lectures because, again, the political environment is not suitable for that. Your teachers and your students cannot move to other countries easily to get few semesters studied from there so that they can. So there is no diversity because of the political scenario. There is no exchange. There is no collaboration. Linkages become weak because uh, linkage. For example, countries are not ready to create partnership or linkage with affected countries because there is no output that seems to be possible. So what I mean to ask is that your university is having great infrastructure, great students, great faculty, great resources. But due to political environment, you are not being able to fulfill other parameters. So why are these universities being deprived of international accreditations, international rankings, though they have all the facilities, but due to political environment. So don't you think these universities are getting behind the race and the league of current international market?
Well, okay, that's a very good and very important question. When I think about and when I talk about those parameters that you're talking about, let me start by talking about rankings. Unfortunately, for affected countries, ranking for them is a marketing tool. It's not an improvement tool. In other words, the university is thinking about, I would like to get the best ranking. So I'm going to think about what are the things that are going to improve my ranking directly without thinking about anything else. Okay. So the university is going to portray that I'm doing good, I'm showing good, and look at my ranking, it's improving. But it's not. Why? Because the university is just and only focusing on those parameters. And for them, for the moment, most of those rankings are web content rankings. In other words, they are not depending on scientific and academic factors. For my country, for Syria, for the moment, no Syrian university is included at the ranking of any scientific content, just like CWUR, academic ranking, academic, performance. No, it's only thinking about web content because for them, okay, look, my students, look, I'm improving in ranking, but it's not. It's like a deception. It should be changed. That's number one. Scientific research is not available for most of universities at affected countries Why? Because they think that scientific research is a luxurious activity. They don't need scientific research. They need to think about, okay, I need to provide academic process. But this is wrong because scientific research is going to enhance and change your mentality for improvement for your students, for your faculty members, for PhD students. It's going to change your university. Okay, because a university or a university, faculty member, he's a scientist or she's a scientist. They should think about it, just like I'm not going to teach at school. This is a university. You should be a thinker. You should be a scientist. You should be like, okay, a writer, translator. You should do something. You should, like make an added value to the academia. Okay, so rankings should be improved. Those universities at those affected countries, they should think about ranking as a way to improve their operation, not to market what they are doing. Second, for scientific research, those universities, they should start to think about, I need to make a budget for scientific research. Just like, let me say that 10 or 20% of my budget should be developed and dictated to scientific research. Okay, start by any faculty that you want, but please just like make an addition to the academia, international academia. Talking about internationalization, this is very important topic, and this is very important for universities. Nowadays, after COVID, after this new reality, I don't need to request my faculty members and students to travel. I can do everything online. So MOUs, agreements, collaboration, scientific collaboration, conferences, and any scientific activity, it can be done online. Even study, you can have a study mode online. You can establish program just like theoretical programs. I'm not talking about medicine. I'm talking about like any other programs. We can teach them online, like anyone, languages, history, geography, like okay, mathematics, like business, administration. All of them can be taught online. For that reason, okay, I can request my teachers and faculty members to teach at other universities. I can recruit students at different universities to study at my university. So the process can be changed. Even if I'm talking about an affected country, then there is still a space and place to enhance, to develop what I'm doing. For that reason, okay, I'm affected country. I have a building. I have students. I have faculty members. I have a good ranking. I have a mentality to improve myself. I have a scientific research. I have international agreements and MOUs. Then at that process and at that time, I can start accreditation. I can't blame. This is important, and I keep talking to my colleagues about it. I can't always blame war for what's happening with me. I can't blame others. I can say, okay, it's war, I can develop. It's war, I can enhance. It's war, I can sign MOUs. No, it's not because of war. It's about you. So you should, if you'd like to enhance and develop your university, you can do that. Just do 1, 2, 3, and people are going to help you and they are going to support you. Okay, because accreditation agencies are not against you. They would like to support and help you. They would like to stand by your side. So just they ask you to restructure yourself in order to be good by their way. Okay, and that is it.
That's great. That's great.
Uh, Mustafa, connecting to this, your description that you gave, uh, the education, the quality education we are providing to our students, our main product, right? The whole
Yes,
system is revolving around that because we want our
yes, right.
students to have, a quality education as they can, survive. Looking into such situation, what are the students' behavior? Because when it's up to them, because we want to see them to come out of the box other than the learning situations, and obviously they are in the most challenging situations these days, right? What are their
Of course,
behaviors and how you grab such a students? Because again, the whole system is dependent on the student. When we are looking for the rankings, when we are looking for the accreditations, we have all the programs and everything. What about the students? Are how you grab them? What are their behaviors? And how gender inequality is being, faced or being operated? Because when I see or when I read the stories about war, they're the women who face the most, I think, in the terms of education. So, what is such balance is being maintained, and what are the students' behavior in current situation?
Okay, as you know, those students were affected by war just like we were. For that reason, they were victims. Okay, and to add insult to to add insult to the injury, you can say that those students they need something from you. In other words, they are looking and waiting for something. They are waiting for an added value for their education. They are studying at the university, but they are thinking about, I need recognition for my certificate. I can just study and get an education, and at the end, I can travel, I can have credentials, I can provide my credentials. For that reason, this process of accreditation or internationalization or ranking, it's all about improvement of the university. And whenever I improve the university, then students who are my main focus, my main theme, okay, they are going to get benefit because at the end, they are, I'm doing everything for them. I'm improving everything for them. They are my cornerstone. They are my main product. They are my precious value. They are my treasures. For that reason, I'm going to help them support them by improving my university. For their own prospect, they know that, okay, they are looking for recognition. Honestly speaking, I was talking to different students at different universities, and all of them were saying that, okay, we need something. We need to get recognition and accreditation for our certificate so that in order to feel that after we graduate, we don't feel that we studied for nothing. Okay, we get a piece of paper without the value. That is important for them. For that reason, the responsibility of universities, even at these areas, even at conflicted, controlled areas, they need to do their best in order to enhance and provide good education. I'm not talking about Syria. One more time, I'm talking about Syria, Somaliland, Iraq, Libya, Armenia, Azerbaijan, Ukraine, any country that is having war conditions because the situation is the same. I mean, wars are going the same way. Destruction is going the same way. When war starts, universities close, and then faculty members travel abroad, students feel that they are lost, and then universities start to establish from the scratch. For that reason, I'm talking about general prospect, not about a conditional one, just like in Syria. For that reason, I was talking and thinking about, okay, we need a certain procedure for quality assurance at affected countries in general, not about Syria. Students are waiting much more from us because they are also the victims of this war, just like we do. And they are studying in the hope that they would like to get a credential for their certificate so that they would get a chance to study abroad, to complete their like MAs abroad, get a job abroad, not just like to stay there at their own country.
So your universities are, in collaboration or in linkages to the other countries around the world as your students are, as they can get the jobs and can be recruited at the better places. So what is the role of the placements in your university? Because again, whatever we are doing for the students, at the end we want them to reach at to their desired positions, right? So how
Right,
what is the role at that time? Because again, that is the major challenge. Students
well,
mobility is also being affected, right? Again,
right.
look for the visas, or when the students are moving abroad for their studies, obviously your students would be having such challenges and issues more, right? So
Right.
how
Okay.
your university help them out?
Okay. For students' mobility, for the moment, as I was talking about, for the moment, and at many other times, it might be not possible because of due to pandemics or due to external factors. For that reason, depending on international MOUs and signing collaboration agreements, mobility can be done online for the moment. I mean, whether to study or to teach or admit to other programs for the moment. But whenever a university is getting and having an accreditation, then at that time is going to get a green light for students that, okay, now you can do it. You can travel. If you'd like, you can do it. If you don't, you can stay here. For that reason, we are giving them something that they need, okay, something important, something valuable, and they can apply. Okay, but before doing that, I should start, as I was talking, that I need internationalization, I need ranking, I need scientific research, and then I'm going to start accreditation. Okay, so that with the beginning of internationalization, I can do that, and when I reach accreditation, then I can let my students do that. But I can't skip that process. Okay, for that reason, internationalization can be done online for the mobility of them. And at that time, I mean, when they get accreditation, when the university get accreditation for the certificate, then, okay, they get a credential and they can prove it. And they can find the visa, they can apply for the visa with their certificate, with their job offer, and then they can go there. Okay, but without an accreditation for their university, their credentials are going to be refused and they can't do it.
So, another thing that is important to be discussed here is that, see, universities are functional when their programs are viable. And how the programs are viable? By taking enrollments and admissions in the programs. So, another challenge that affected countries face is low admissions, low enrollments. Because,
Right.
for example, you have a capacity of 5,000 students, but due to the political scenario and or maybe due to war, admissions are not being taken in the university. And for the students who are already enrolled in the university and they are studying, they are not being able to pay their dues because businesses are collapsed, inflation is on the peak, demand and supply gap increases. So, how do these universities manage their funds? Because this is another issue. How do you manage the finances? How? Because there is no income from industry, there is low income from research, and
Okay.
taxes are there. So, how does this university or how do these universities manage their cash flows to
Okay.
make the university viable?
Okay, so those universities are depending on the fees that they are getting from students as their main source of operation. That is important. When I talk about admission, I have two options and two scenarios. The first one, that I don't have students to apply and admit to the program. That's number one. And number two, I have too many students who are applying to this program. And so when I accept all of them, they will not get a job because there is no equivalent situation between job market and students. Both two scenarios, they should be analyzed, because what I need as a university, I need to analyze the labor market. What's the need of the labor market? Okay, how many, or the expected number of students that I need to accept to admit, so that those students are going to study, going to learn something new, going to understand something new, going to get an added value. And what's important, after they graduate, they are going to be like a good workers. They are going to be the prospect and going to be the mirror of the university in the labor market. They are going to find a job, whether within 12 months or within 18 months. Okay, so a university, depending on that analysis, a university is supposed to go to labor market and going to make like statistics about how many numbers of its graduates have started their work, have started their business, whether their own business or working for others within 12 or 18 months. Okay, then make statistics, analyze those numbers, and at that time you would know that, okay, how many students should I accept for the admission of next year in order to make it equivalent with the needs of labor market. Because I'm talking about the general situation, and even for the accreditation process, when accreditation agencies would like to request, okay, tell me about your admission policy, how it's happening, tell me about your alumni, I would like to meet them, how they are working, how many of them are working, tell me about the percentage of working within 12 months. Okay, so all of those statistics and all of those numbers should be analyzed by the university, whether for ILMA University or for any other university, so that at that moment you would know that, okay, for me, I can admit just like 500 students at those three programs. I can develop the strategy. I can promote the university. I can inform people more about me, because of internationalization is important, whether for the country itself or for abroad. I mean, because even you should inform others about your university. I mean, for the country itself, what your university is providing, what is giving. And I think that ILMA University is doing that. For that reason, what you need for the moment is to make statistics for your graduates, for your alumni, to know how they are working, what were the difficulties that they had after they graduate. That's important. You can ask them that, okay, what were the programs, what were the information, what were the credentials that you think you would like that you had learned before you graduate during study. So make like questionnaire for them, listen to them, communicate with them. And I think that the admission policy for the next years is going to be equivalent with the labor market. So you're not going to have any financial difficulties, whether for no students are admitting to the program or for, okay, I have huge admission numbers for the program.
Taking this challenge as an opportunity, what I see the flip side of the viability challenge is that, because currently now universities are focusing towards digital environment. So you can take the classes online, teachers can teach the students online, faculty development programs can be done online, resource persons can teach your faculty in online sessions. You can read the books, you don't need to go to a physical library, you can read everything online. You can engage your alumni online. Maybe you can conduct statutory body meetings.
Okay, when we are talking about digitalization for the moment,
Yeah.
then you should think about internationalization at the same time. Because, okay, I can provide online activities, I can provide online learning, so I can start internationalization process. Whether, one more time, whether I'm talking about a country that's affected by war or about any other stable country, okay, then I can start internationalization. I start communicating with universities around the world, that those universities that are simulating my mentality, they are providing the same programs that I'm providing. They are doing what I'm doing. They are similar to me during whether for the size or number of students or any other factors. So you can communicate with those universities, signing MOUs, providing scholarships for those for students of those universities. And at that time, okay, you can change your admission policy. At that moment, you'd get more students from different countries would like to study at your university, because you are providing good education, you have accreditation, and you are providing scholarships for them. By doing that, okay, you can change the admission policy, but without thinking about the online digitalization and internationalization of the university, then you can do it. Then at that moment, you should limit your admission to the number that you get from your statistics. But thinking about internationalization, okay, you can have like an open access and open admission policy. I mean, you can accept all of those students who are coming to you from abroad, because for them, they already had a job offer for them.
Because Musfa, taking your example, you have been and you are part of many advisory boards at ILMA University. We are in Pakistan, you are in Syria. But due to digital technology and facility,
yes,
you are part of various advisory boards. You are conducting sessions here. You are taking active participation in our international conferences. You are speaking to hundreds and thousands of audience while sitting in Syria, and we are in Pakistan, and our other countries are on board through digitalization process. So this means that one side, when we see that due to war or any other political disturbance, we are not being able to cater to all the requirements of international ranking parameters or accreditation bodies. But on the other side, due to digital technology and the facilities, we can do everything. I don't see anything that remains pending due to non-physical interaction. Everything is possible now.
Okay, it depends on the university itself. It depends on the university itself. You know, some universities, they like to stay as they are without making any change. That, okay, we accept and we have an admission policy for a small number of students, we teach them and they graduate. Okay. For other universities, those would like, who would like to have like an international prospect, then okay, they think that I would like to improve my ranking. I would like to make a scientific research. I would like to sign MOUs with international universities. I would like to communicate with other universities. I would like to provide scholarships for those students at different universities. While doing that, you are going to go bigger and bigger. You are going to grow. Okay. And by doing that, okay, you can have, so just like numbers of students, just like you were saying, I'm in Syria, you are in Pakistan, we are having activity together, and people from different countries are watching us. So this is internationalization.
Yes.
This is digitalization. And this is the process that we can do for universities at affected countries or at any other country. For affected countries, they can depend on technology. They can depend on online activities for improving their operation, for like signing MOUs, for enhancing their ranking, for making like conferences, sessions, for having guest lecturers. Everything can be done online. Okay, for those universities. For other stable countries, that okay, you can improve and enhance your admission policy by establishing online programs that you can provide for students. You know, we have many programs that can be taught online, just like languages, as I was taking, like languages, literary programs, just like you are talking about science, business, and all of them that can be taught completely 100% online. Then when you offer such an activity and when you offer those programs online, then students from different countries are going to start admission policy. That's going to improve the university, make it bigger, make it like an international prospect, and of course, going to give it, enhancement for financial factor. I mean, it's going to get more income from those universities, from those students.
This means by having discussion on this topic, what I understand is that the biggest challenge of effect for any affected country is to invest and to improve the digital environment of the institution. So if you invest and you focus on the digital environment, you get best technology, you get the best IT resources, the university can still be functional
Of
despite
course.
the fact whether your country is affected or your country is developed or your country is a developing country. So this is the main hairline difference that we need to, because we want to make aware the audience that
Yes.
affected countries' universities are not far behind. They
Yes,
are
of
equally
course.
good and competent as of developed country university. But yes, there
Right.
is a challenge of investing and improving the digital environment of the university. And you can do everything.
Right, right. I agree with you 100%. I agree with you. It's about sometimes about the budget of the university, how much they can invest in the technology.
Yes.
Regardless of that, I believe that in the basis of online activities, just like whenever you have a laboratory, you have classes for online, you have a laptop and you have internet connection and Zoom, then okay, that is it. You can start with that, premises. You can start with this step. I'm not requesting to have a VR and an AI technology. No, we can start with the basis. I mean, for those affected countries, and by the time they can develop and enhance that investment in the technology. But as you have said, whenever any university at any affected country, they would like to start by communicating with others, then okay, online would be a very good option for them and would be, a result for them so that they can communicate with other universities. They can provide like online conferences, meetings, and any other things. For stable countries, online can be a very good option for admission for their students. And as you know, nowadays, we have many universities that are only providing online courses. You have many online universities for nowadays, and all of them, they have accreditation. So accreditation of online activities and online programs is not a problem. What's the problem is that you start the process. I'm going to make like a step forwards to make my university communicate with other universities, to attract students, to make a mobility for students, to attract faculty members. Even for the faculty members, Any university, can you hear me?
Yes,
Yes, Chef,
yes,
we can.
Can you hear me?
yes, we
Okay,
can hear
okay.
you.
A university, okay, any university, it can be a hub between international faculty members who are teaching online and students who are studying online. So the university itself, it can be a hub. That is it.
Even Musa, the exchange programs are now possible in digital environment because you need to exchange your faculty. So your faculty can take classes in Pakistan, and all Pakistani students sitting in the class, and your faculty can teach through online facility. Similarly, our teachers can teach in your classroom online through online facility. So I
Yes,
think, and there are basic requirements for a university to create a digital environment. You need to have an appropriate server for that. You
right.
need to have some computers in your university. You need to have good internet connectivity, and you need to have a campus management system and a good portal for students. So student support is being addressed through students e-portal, faculty's issues and challenges and their content and their documentation is covered through faculty portals. Campus is
Okay,
managed through campus management system. So there are basic
okay,
requirements that I don't think a university cannot do. The university can do this.
okay. Whenever I have a problem, then I need a solution. When I have a problem for a country that's affected by war, that is having a very difficult operation situation, that is having very limited resources, then I need to find a solution. And for them, for that moment, online would be a good solution for them. They can have that activities. They can have even for the faculty members. As you know, there is something important. Due to war conditions, you might not have enough faculty members. I mean, you can't have the PhD holders to teach at a certain program. What you are going to do? Are you going to close the program? No, I'm going to request the help of faculty members who are abroad and they can teach online. So that's a solution. One more time, I'm not requesting to change everything to be online. I'm going to make it like the first step. Even for ILMA University, this change, it will be gradual. It's going to be step by step. I'm not going to change everything for just like once and forever. This change can be done online. One more time, step by step, gradually. You are going to train your faculty members, train them how to teach online, how to deal with online activities. You are going to establish your own servers. You are going to establish your support, online support. Then by the time it's going to be like a hybrid. You have physical, you have virtual. So by the time you are going to develop both of those steps. For the affected countries, I think that it's a very important thing to be done. I mean, moving and depending on the virtual activities, because that might be for the moment, the only resource. Because in the case I would like to talk to you, okay, we welcome you to come to our country. You can't come because it's dangerous. Okay, so okay, we can establish like online activities and something like that.
And I must add, Mustafa, here, like I have witnessed uh, brilliant minds, brilliant researchers, uh, as we can say, the brilliant minds are being produced from such countries. Nothing can
Good.
stop them. Though there is a
Yes.
political influence, though they are starving from the resources, but they can reach to their goal no matter what. And again, these challenges
Good.
also making them to work harder as you are being connected. As I can see that there is a list of agencies you are connected to. You are a member of those agencies. Nothing could have stopped you if you have your own.
Right.
There are the political influences; those can affect a bit of in the terms of resources. But if you are willing to do, you can do anything in the world.
Right.
Also,
Right.
I
That's
see
right.
another issue is that we as quality experts now need to focus to revise the accreditation guidelines, the quality assurance guidelines, because still a lot of accreditation agencies are performing quality audits and accreditation audits based on physical setup of the university.
Do that.
See, so now it's time to revise the documentation and revise all the rubrics based on online facilities.
Right.
right?
Yes.
Accreditation. For example, accreditation parameter requires your university to call your alumni once in a year at least and have a meetup with them. So
Good.
university, because due to COVID-19, all the affected areas in the country, so physical alumni interaction was not being possible. So why not create this alumni meetup through online facility? But the
Right.
forms and the documentations in the accreditation of the accreditation bodies or the international, they do not have the parameter of or the provision of online alumni meetup. So we need to revise actually the forms as well. So that
Right.
because see Musla, what I see in COVID-19, developing countries' universities started investing and focusing on online facilities. But as soon
Right.
as the COVID got over, all those investments and the focused strategy vanished, and now we are back to the
Mhm.
physical setup. And now we are again focusing and investing on the physical setup. So this is the mindset that persists in the mind of university management and should be changed.
Well, honestly speaking, whenever you are talking about the post-COVID, the post-pandemic era, then you are talking about the hybrid mode.
Yes.
For the moment, and I believe that even for the next years, whenever there is any activity or any conference, then they should support both modes. I mean, the online mode and physical mode. Okay. And what's important is that after we had with COVID, the experience that we had with COVID and with the industry that was developed during COVID, I mean, the technical issues, technology like the AI, like artificial intelligence, like virtual reality, all of those technology that were developed during the pandemic era. I mean, we can develop them and use them for the moment. And what's important is that we should expect at any time to have any pandemic to happen. Then we should be prepared and be ready for that because, as you know, COVID out of sudden it appeared and out of sudden it vanished. Okay, so at next years we might have like more pandemics, we might have more experiences like what happened with us with COVID. For that reason, okay, I agree with you. For the moment, I support that we should have that online mode, even for accreditation, even for education, or for evaluation and assessment. Okay, so at anything, anytime, at any place, we can have that hybrid mode of education for our students or for our meetings, for our conferences. Okay, so that's right. I agree with you. Even for the accreditation procedures and standards, okay, they should make change for them in order to be like, okay, be prepared for something else. Be prepared for what might happen. And that was what I was talking about at the beginning of our talking that we should make a certain procedure for accreditation for universities that are located at affected countries, and we might have something similar for external factors, just like for pandemics. During times of pandemics, we should 1 to 3 for accreditation. So that can be applied.
I think we have managed to give our audience a new vision of how to look at universities or and higher education institutions of affected countries. So, because when I started the show, I had a different mindset, but now as we discuss different things, my mindset has been changed, and
True that.
I see these universities still progressing and still having a chance to stand with the top universities of the world. So, my mindset has been changed with the program. Now it's time to explore your personal side and tell the
Okay,
world
great. Okay, great.
something that the world doesn't know about you. So are you
Okay,
ready for
good.
that?
Yeah, sure.
We'll be asking short questions and you'll be giving a rapid answer to that.
Okay, good. Go ahead, please.
Are we good to go? All right.
Yes. Okay.
Okay. Tell us, Mustafa, what is the first thing you do when you wake up in the morning?
Well, honestly speaking, for nowadays, I sleep for about 3 or 4 hours only. For that reason, when I woke up, I just prepare my coffee and open my laptop, check for emails in the case I had urgent emails to reply. So my morning starts with a cup of coffee.
Okay.
Okay.
So how Mustafa Ghali describes himself in 3 words?
Well, a passionate dreamer. Oh, those two. Okay. Okay. I'm a dreamer to make a change. I'm a dreamer to make a change for my life, for my society, and for my community.
All right.
So I'm a dreamer. Yep.
Okay, Mustafa, what has been your favorite age? What age number you like the most so far?
Well, okay, now I'm 32 years old, so I think that this is the age that I like, okay? Because nowadays I feel that I understand the world better. I know what I need, I know what I have, and I know what I'm planning to do in the next years. So I think that now I'm well aware of what I want to do for my life and for the life of others. So that is it, 32, good.
See, this is the indirect question to ask our guest age.
Yeah. Okay, it's okay for no worries to tell you about my age.
Okay,
Okay.
what is the talent that you have
Hmm.
that no one knows about the talent except yourself?
Talent? You mean talent?
What talent you have that nobody knows about other than Mustafa Ghali?
Mustafa is asking the talents. I think there are a number of talents that people do
One
not
talent
know.
that you have and nobody knows about.
Okay, I accept challenges. I mean, when there is someone who challenge me to do something, then I'm ready to stay 24 hours to do it.
Oh,
I
Okay,
thought you would
then
say you are a good singer, but
yeah, yeah, just like okay, sometimes okay, I need to do something. Okay, I stay 24 hours without sleep in order to finish it. So
okay,
yeah, that's I consider that talent.
okay.
okay. Mustafa, in which subject you were worst in the school?
Oh my God. Oh my God. Okay. Okay. I wasn't good in mathematics. And
Okay.
up till now, my teacher would say that, okay, Mustafa, for God's sake, how were you able to pass it? How you managed to pass it? So I say, I don't know. I wasn't good in mathematics.
Okay. Okay. So, when did you last evaluated yourself in terms of your strengths and weaknesses?
Okay. Every year, starting from January the 1st, I just like make a session for myself. I prepare a cup of coffee and just like play music and say, okay, Mustafa, what have you done during this the last year? Was it good for you or bad for you? How you evaluate yourself? Were you good or bad? Were you able to manage and achieve your goals or not? For that reason, every year, starting from you know the beginning of every year, I do it. Like, okay, last year was good. I did 1, 2, 3, but I wasn't able to do 1, 2, 3. So I evaluate myself and I make a plan for next year. That okay, within 2022, I'm going to do 1, 2, 3. I'm going to finish 1, 2, 3. So that is it.
Oh, okay. Mustafa, are you in the current profession that you dreamed in a childhood when you were a child? Or there was some other profession that you wanted to be?
Uh,
You got my question?
Big pardon. Would you please
Okay,
repeat the question again? I
let
wasn't.
me repeat that. Let me
Yeah,
repeat that.
again, please. Yes.
Okay. The profession you are currently in today was the really dream that you dreamed of when you were a child?
Okay. Okay. When I was a child, just like I had my dream, what I would like to be when I grow up. Okay, and in a way or another, just like I was thinking that I would like to be a teacher. Okay, just like to teach English at schools. Okay, that was just like my dream, just like when I was a child. But when I grew up, everything has changed. Okay, I finished my BA, MBA, I finished my MA, and I'm about to finish my PhD. So it has changed greatly.
Hmm.
How do you manage your free time? What are your hobbies?
Okay, I don't have free time for the moment. For the moment, starting from 2 years up till now, I don't have free time at all. Just like every now and then, I try to get about 1 hour or 2 hours to watch just like a movie or to listen to music. But talking about free time for everyday free time, no, I don't have it, unfortunately.
Okay.
Any book you are reading these days? Your favorite book?
Uh, Well, for the moment, and for during the last few months, my focus was about reading articles and books related to quality assurance because it's part of my study and my work. But before that, I used to read books for Dan Brown, the American writer, and I read Inferno for Dan Brown. It was a lovely, very good book. It was talking about the pandemic or something similar. So it was a lovely book.
Are you a sports person?
Again, please.
Are you a sports person?
Sports.
Sports person.
Are you a sports person? Do you play any sport or do you watch any sport or no
No,
sports?
no, unfortunately, no. When I was, younger, I used to watch tennis, but for the moment, unfortunately, I'm not watching any sport.
So don't you think the work-life balance is disturbed because you are more focused towards your work and not giving time to yourself? Don't you think this should be otherwise?
Well, well, for me, I think that in your life and in our life, there is a time, a certain time that you would get a challenge to finish something, to do something. And whenever you do it within that time, within short time, then you would get your life better and you can live it in a better way. You can enhance your life. And at that time, you can get free time for yourself, for your family, for your wife and children. You can watch TV, you can go to cinema, you can do whatever you want. But talking about myself, starting from 2020 up to now, it has been about 2 years and a half. I swear I wasn't able to do just like anything, any external activity. I wasn't able just like to watch a movie without thinking about my work. Even for my dreams, honestly speaking, when I dream, then I dream about work or study or something similar. So even my work is chasing me to my dreams.
Oh, all right. Mustafa, your favorite memory of your childhood?
My favorite
Childhood memory.
childhood memory, favorite one. Okay, when I was about 4 years old and I was riding the bike and my sister was saying, "Yes, yes, you are doing it."
That's cute.
Okay,
Okay, Muswa, the most embarrassing moment in your life, and how did you tackle that moment?
okay. Most embarrassing moment. Let me remember. Okay. Uh, I think when I was 10 or 11 years old, I had my degrees and they weren't good, unfortunately. I wasn't a good student, by the way. I wasn't that hardworking student. I wasn't. And then when I went back home and met my father and say, "What the hell are you doing? What you were spending your time?" So it was a very embarrassing moment. That okay, I wasn't a good student at that time.
All right. Mustafa, my last question is, what do you think is
Okay,
key to a living good life? Can you hear me? What is the key that you think is a
no,
hello? Can you hear me now, Mustafa?
no. What is the key for?
What is the key to live a good life?
Okay, the good to live a good life is to be satisfied with what you have. Okay, whenever I'm feeling satisfied with my work, with my study, with what I have, with my family, with my children, then I'm going to be happy. But if you keep complaining, keep saying that, okay, I don't like my life, I hate my life, I hate my work, I hate my situation, my country has been destroyed. If you keep complaining, then you would like spend your life complaining. then you are going to find yourself an old man with, okay, I have no memories in my life. I have done nothing in my life. I had spent my life complaining. But when you feel satisfied, okay, you accept what you have. Then you try at that moment, you will try to improve yourself. And whenever you feel satisfied and improve yourself, you are going to get good in your life. You will feel that, okay, I had something and I helped others. I provided something to others.
Great.
Okay, I have a question. You can
Yeah.
tell me to edit the question if you think
Okay.
it should be
It's
edited.
okay.
Okay, the
Okay.
question is that behind every hardworking man there is a lost love.
Oh my God. Okay. My wife is watching this video. She's going to kill me.
I can edit the question if you think.
Okay. My wife is watching. She's saying, okay, I'm going to kill you. She was my first love. Honestly speaking, we met at university. We loved each other. We engaged and we married, and we have a loving family.
Ah,
Got it? Yeah, I've got it.
Now the other question is that if you have got the love of your life and still you are working hard, that means now you are in trouble.
Oh, yeah, of course. Right. That's right. That's right. Okay.
yeah.
In any man's heart, there should be only one woman.
Yes.
Because if you keep thinking about other women, then your mind is going to be, disturbed. You just always think about women. No, just like one woman only.
I'm sure nobody in the world has asked you such questions.
Yeah.
Fun part of this entire rapid fire round.
Okay, so what is your feedback about this show, Q-Tricks, and how can we further improve this show in future?
And what do
Okay.
you
The
like
show.
about the show?
Okay, the show is great by itself. I mean, you are attracting those experts in higher education. You are attracting those who are influential in their business. It's about internationalization of ILMA University. It's about talking to others. It's about understanding and listening to others. This show is great, and in the coming coming months and coming years, I suggest that you can communicate with those influential, not only in the quality assurance. You can talk about those who are influential in teaching,
Hmm.
those in languages, just like you can talk to those people who are, pioneers in management, in education, in languages. You can, you know, uh, enhance and expand the prospects of the program so that you can attract more people. Because this program is extremely important. Because one more time, you are having those international pioneers, international experts. You are listening to them, and you are expanding the mentality of Alma University. Okay, what's important is that Elma University for the moment is not local, it's international. And this program is helping about doing that.
Thank
Thank you
you.
so much, thank you. And Musfa, there is a great news. We are now moving. We are now ready to move to other countries. We are now planning to visit a few countries in by the end of this year, and we'll be conducting these shows physically there. I means
Great.
these shows will be on hybrid mode. We'll be conducting the shows online like we are doing it now, and we'll be visiting every year. We'll be visiting 2 or 3 countries, and we'll be conducting physical live shows there. So we are
Great.
we this is our future strategy for the show, and you are right. We need to bring diversified people in the show now. It's not about only quality assurance. It should be about industry. It should be about research. It should be about faculty. It should be about
Great.
alumni and students. So
Great.
diversified people should come to this show because Musfa, now see people are bored from listening to speakers,
Yes, listening to
watching the presentations, and
Good.
because this lacks interaction. Now, when we
Good.
deliver lectures, when we give presentations, now generally audience take active part in the initial moments of the speech, and then they are
Leave.
lost in the middle of the speech,
Right.
and then the last part again they get alive and they listen to this part. But
Good.
the idea of Qtrix is to interact with international speakers. See, we
Good.
explored your personal side, we explored your technical and professional side.
Great.
We discussed, we didn't ask the questions. It was not monotonic, it was
Right.
bitonic.
That's right.
We
That's
we
right.
shared our point of view, you shared your point of view, and then we came to a conclusion that now this should be done.
Right. That's right. I
And
agree with you.
by the end of the show, every show we leave a food for thought for the audience, so they now start thinking ahead on the topic. So this is the idea of the show basically.
Okay. Mustafa, as it was like amazing show, amazing conversation with you. But in the last, what message you would like to give to our audience, our students, our faculty members, even to our country?
Okay. Thank you so much. It was a great initiative. The program and Catrix is great. And one more time, it's a platform for internationalization for ILMA University. It's a platform for listening to those experts at different fields and different, strategies. My message would be, for students and for, experts in the field is that, as you know, quality assurance, talking about my expertise, quality assurance of higher education is an important factor for all universities at all countries, whether developed, undeveloped, or for affected countries. For that reason, all of us, we should work together to apply this procedure, to apply this standard, to help each other about helping such countries, such universities to work better and to operate better, whether for Syrian ones or for any other country, for Ukrainian or Ukrainian colleagues or any other country. For that reason, my message would be let's work together, let's stretch hands, and let's be one more time together, standing together because we're going to be stronger and better. Thank you so much.
So, on behalf of ILMA University's Board of Governors, our Honorable Chancellor, Mr. Numan Lakhani, Imtiaz, our Vice Chancellor, our Deans, Registrar, Director, faculty, and students, we extend our heartfelt felicitation and really honored for sparing time for ILMA University. And uh, it is you and other guest speakers who are making this show
A
possible
success. Yes.
and successful. And it is only and only you and other guests who are coming to the show despite your hectic schedule. You are sparing time, you are getting into the show, you are listening to us, you are sharing your experiences, you are talking about the betterment of the world, you are talking about the educational improvement in the world. So the credit goes to all of you who are coming and listening to us and sharing your ideas without any discrimination, without any difference in race, caste, the citizenship, the country. We all are one fraternity, and through this show, we are promoting peace, harmony, and lot of other positive strategies and ideas to the audience. So, thank you so much for coming to the show. And ladies and gentlemen, it's time to now wrap up the show. We'll be right back with another exciting episode of Qtrix with another academic celebrity. Until then, take care of yourself. Good luck. Thank you. Goodbye.
Thank you. Take care of
Thank you so
yourself.
much.
Bye bye.
Allah Hafiz.
Thank you so much. Bye bye. Thank you so much.